Hi guys, look what we got. Happy Mail. So this is from Acme Fibers. They're here in Ontario in Fort Erie, and I have purchased from them before. But what I wanted to do today is show you what I got. Woohoo! Oops. So that's my invoice. So I have some extra fine merino top. So it's 19.5 microns, but it is super wash. I wanted to get super wash this time. So we have 9.2 ounces of this. And then in these, look at, I love her little stickers. We have can you guess? New dyes! Yay! So I got a bunch. Now she gets them, her supplier also makes jacquard. So these are Acme acid dyes, but they would be the same as jacquard. Let me just get these all opened. This is a really good box. Okay, so we have chartreuse, teal, olive, salmon, magenta, hot fuchsia, vivid violet, periwinkle, hi Tay-Tay, and then the ones that I initially went to buy and ended up buying a whole ton. We've got fluorescent red, fluorescent orange, fluorescent yellow, and black light blue. So what we're gonna do, I got 25 grams of each of these. Price was very decent. I'm very, very happy with these. And I think we're going to have some fun with these. So we are going to die for die. We have 12. So let me find our 12-sided dice. And we're going to find out how many of them we're going to use. We're going to use 8 of them. Didn't we fall into this last time? All right. I'm going to follow my own rules. We're going to die for die. We're going to, let me find, okay, that's my 12-sided dice. We're going to use 1 to 6 yarns, or dies. So let's find out how many. We're going to use 2 dies. All right, let's find out which 2. That is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got vivid violet. And 2 fluorescent yellow. Oh, that is an interesting combination. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to snow dye some fiber with these 2 dyes. Now, I don't want to use the whole 9.2 ounces. I think I just want to do 2 ounces of it. So we're going to get out our scale. Open our bag. I love that this comes in a resealable bag. That is so lovely. Whew, it just poofed right up. Okay, so let's change this to ounces. Oh, this is so soft and fluffy. Now, superwash, you're always going to get some staticky issues with it. It's just the nature of the beast. So that's about 2 ounces. Let's see, 2.1. I went over a little bit. Oh, well. All right, we'll put our scale away. And we're going to bring our pan over here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to arrange my fiber in here. Now, superwash sucks up the dye like uber fast. So we're going to lay this all out as flat as we can. Okay, now I'm going to put our, I'm just checking to see how high above the pan it's sitting. Not very. So we're going to put citric acid water right in here, and we're going to let it soak for 20 minutes or so. And then when we're ready to do our snow dyeing, we can just lift it right out of the water, pop our little metal basket under there, and leave that sitting above that citric acid water. So any leftover dye that we have will be sitting in citric acid water, so then we can just toss some more fiber in if we need to. We're going to go very easy with the dyes though, and very easy with the snow. We're going to learn from last time. But first, we need to get this soaking. All right, we're going to let this soak for about 20 minutes or so. I'll check on it again in 20 minutes and see if it's well saturated. And it is actually actively snowing today. Not much, but it is snowing. So I will be back when it is ready for its snow dye. And we are going to use Vivid Violet and Fluorescent Yellow. I'm actually really excited about this. Purple and gold go great together. They were actually the colors at my high school. But this is taking the purple and gold thing to a different level. And I'm kind of excited. So I will see you when the wool is ready to be dyed. All right, I got snow, I got wet fiber, I got dyes, and we're ready to roll. So the first thing I'm going to do is lift this out of the water and put it onto that tray and let it drip. So today we've had some fresh snow. Yes, that's in a pot. And yes, my neighbors saw me doing it. I'm picturing it like, Harold, Harold, you gotta come see what the crazy cat lady is doing. She's on her front lawn making snow soup. I can just imagine it. Anyways, this is light snow. You can see it's melting already. So let's just plop this all in there. The forbidden soup. Okay, so we're just gonna spread this out. I'm not gonna pack it down. I'm trying to keep it kind of crunched up and fluffy, but it is packy snow, so it's kind of packing itself together. But that's okay. So first, I have Vivid Violet. Disclaimer, if you're doing this yourself, use gloves and masks. Do as I say, don't do as I do. All right. Look at how dark that is. I want to see how it... Oof. Oof. That is vivid. Now, do I add a little more? Yeah, okay, just a little more. Okay, that's enough. No more. By the time that spreads out, that's going to be a lot of dye. All right, I'm just going to wipe off my spoon. Oh, that is so pretty. Look at that color. It's fantastic. Papa's over here trying to get to his bowl of water. I don't know if I can get the camera up far enough. There he is. He's acting like he's got no room. He's got the whole freaking counter, but he's got to like stand a certain way. And here is our fluorescent yellow. That is definitely yellow. Okay. I'm just going to start with just a little bit. Oh, there's no actual snow in that corner. Oh well. Okay, just a smidge more. Okay, that's it. There we go. Now we have our dyes on our snow. Now we just wait for it to melt. Oh, Baba's going to drink the snow out of the pan. I don't think you want to do that, buddy. That's my dye pan. It's got ickies in it, baby. All right, so I'm going to let this do its thing, and I will check on it periodically, and we'll see how it's going. It seems to be melting a bit already, so that's an up from last time. Yes, Bobo's right here participating. Can you see him? Here, let me just move this over a bit. There he is. Look at that face. Oh, he's so cute. He's such a cute baby. But he's so nosy. I have to make sure he stays out of that. Mr. Man. Mr. Man. He's just here for the cuddles. He'll lose interest when I walk away. It's always that way with him. I am going to move this over so we get a little more sunshine on it, though. So you can see the colors a little better. All right. Now we wait. All right, so that only took a couple of hours at the most. I just went and did some other stuff and took a bath. So, our water is now pink underneath, but this is the color we have on our roving. Now, I don't know if, I'm thinking we need to heat set it. I don't see why we wouldn't, even with it being superwash. So, we'll just bring in our other pan, and I'm going to try to flop it over. I'm going to do this the smart way, though. I'll put the pan over like this, and then flip. And it's stuck to the little thingy. Okay. Oh, there's Tay-Tay. So here's what our backside looks like. Didn't get much penetration. But I imagine there's a lot of dye on the surface, and if we add just a bit of water and cook this, that it will go all the way through it. Trying to just gently add some water to it. Actually, I'm not seeing any bleed, pardon me, any bleed at all. I think it sucked up every last drop of that dye. I'm telling you, superwash is like a little vacuum cleaner. It just goes and slurps it up. Oh, I see some yellow bleed over here. Oh, we got a little bit of bleed. But I think that's the corner where it landed on the yarn. It didn't end up going through the snow. But I'm still going to heat set it. I got my oven heated up to 450. This is really cold, so I'll throw it in for half hour, 20 minutes. We'll do 20 minutes and check on it. I gotta say, this new tin foil is lovely. Oops. I just ripped my new tin foil. Sad face. All right, I'm gonna pop that in the oven for 20 minutes. And while it's cooking, we have a little bit of dye to use up. So, as usual, I'm going to grab some locks. 1 second. All right, I have some of dill. This is Reboulet. And I think this has just been rinsed. I don't think I've actually scoured it. Well, maybe. But we're just going to throw some of that in here. Okay, that's probably more than enough. Tripping over cats here. They're like, what are you doing? Can we help? It's kind of a boring pink shade, so I think we're going to spice it up a little bit. And there's plenty of citric acid in there, so I'm not worried about needing that to strike. But I'm going to add some hot water. See how that is. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. Let's mix this up. This is why you should pre-soak your fiber before you go to dye it. This is a gorgeous dusty rose, and I am fighting everything in me to grab another dye and toss some in. No, 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 no. Bad Tammy. We're supposed to be using this as dye soppers. Tell me no. Tell me we cannot add more dye to this. Random dyed lock in there. This must have just pulled it off my I have a spice drying rack outside. I use it for my fleeces. Look, I even tried doing a little lock. Okay, pop that in there. Yep, I'm going to have to add a little more water because the fleece is not swimming anymore. I think that's the perfect amount of water. And it is a lovely, lovely dusty pink. And I cannot leave it alone. I cannot. Tell me not to do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Leave it alone. Don't do it. Hell, you know I'd not. going to leave it at that. I don't think it's physically capable of leaving it like that. Oh, that purple is my new favorite thing. Look at that. Look at that purple. So gorgeous. Okay. That was probably a little more than I meant to add. Okay. That purple. Oh, my heart. It is so fantastic. Okay. Now I don't want to mix the fiber because I want the purple to strike on the top and the pink to strike on the bottom. And I have it, I think, packed enough that it won't seep all the way to the bottom completely. So we'll end up with this streaky purpley pink. But like, look at that purple. It's so gorgeous. Oh, my heart. We've only opened 2 of these dies and I am just like over the moon. All right, I'm going to let that sit while the first one cooks, and then we will swap them when it's time. And we'll see how this all turns out. See you in a bit. Let's see how our snow dye is doing. Now there's not much water in it, so I don't want to leave it for too long. I don't want to burn my wool. Oh, it's steaming good, so it did get up to temperature. And I think all that color was set because there's like no color travel at all. So this is going to be our final snow dye. Oh, look, it broke out a little bit of blue there. All right, so I'm going to put that to cool and wash it up. And in the meantime, I am going to get the locks in and get them cooking. Back in a bit. I have a chatty cat with me, but we still have a lot of dye in here. And I shouldn't have added more because my bad. But what we are going to do is, because this wool is not fully saturated with color, it can take more. So I'm going to mix up some citric acid and dump that in here. So I'm making a fairly strong citric acid mix. I added a 1/2 cup to 4 cups of water. Just gonna mix that up. But I am glad I added the purple because look at how much prettier that is now. Oh! All right, so we're just going to add this to our mess. And we're going to mix that in. And then we're going to throw it back in the oven for another 20 minutes. And we'll see how it's doing after that. So I'll be back. Okay, let's see what's happening now. Ooh, she's hot and steamy, so we know at least it got up to temperature. Oh, it's looking promising. Still a little bit left. But look at those colors. So pretty. All right. I think I hooched myself, and I'm going to have to find some more dye soppers. Or actually, I think I'm just going to leave it to cool overnight in the pan. And that should allow it to absorb the rest of that dye. Decisions. Yeah, I'm going to let it sit overnight. So we'll be back later to check on it. So here we are. I let it sit overnight. And you can see that the dye bath has fully exhausted. Well, there might be just a tint of pink in there, but I am not worrying about that little bit. So I am glad I added the purple though. Like, look at the variations in shades on this. Like, oh, it turned that dusty rose into something much more interesting. And I will be so happy to like mix this up and like comb it together and see how it turns out. I think it's going to be fun. But I'm going to get this washed up and out to dry, and we'll come back with results. And here we go. I washed this last night and put it out to dry, so it's mostly dry. And here's how it looks. It's got some interesting patterns. Now, I don't know if it was because of the superwash or because I used so much less snow, but it definitely didn't get the penetration. So the advantage of the lots of snow was it would trickle through so slowly that it fully penetrated the fiber and we got a full dye. Whereas on this one, it's very patchy. I still think it's going to look really cool when it's spun up. And I don't know if that's because the superwash just sucks up the dye so fast that it just only penetrated like the top. Not entirely sure, but I'm not unhappy. Like, look at some of these colors. I mean, as far as the dye goes, I absolutely love it. It works great. It exhausted well eventually, but I'm quite happy with it. And I have some new colors, and we've only like dipped into 2 of them, and I got 12. So there's 10 more. So you know darn well we're going to be doing some more dye for dyes with the new ones, and we're going to play around. But this is my 2 ounces of superwash, and this is how Dill's turned out. And I'm very happy that I added that purple because it was just too bleh. We know how I feel about one color. I love tonal. I don't like just one solid color. So this is much better. And you're not going to, when you're working with locks, you're not going to end up with, oh, look at how lovely that turned out. Oh, so pretty. You're not going to end up with like one color. Everything is going to have tones to it. And when you blend it all together, I think it just turns out so much more rich. It's like when you overdye gray. You get levels and tones and stuff, and it just turns out so pretty. But you can see that the blue definitely breaks out of the vivid violet, but I like that. I think it's turned out so pretty, and I'm so excited to blend this up and see what color we end up with eventually, because I think it's going to be gorgeous. Here's the dusty rose that it was originally. So you can see how it's all just kind of, I mean, it's a pretty color, but it's pretty blah. Like there's no depth to it when you compare it to stuff like this. Like it's so much prettier when you add a little extra just to give that tonal pop. Anyways, I'm gonna stop blathering. I'm gonna put this out to dry, and we'll do up a video later where we'll blend it all together and have some fun. So I hope you enjoyed this dye for dye, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye, guys.